Good morning, guys. Welcome. My name's AISHLING and I have Casey here with me to take you through a flow practice this morning. It's the start of winter officially, and the season of winter in yoga is generally about introspection. So we start to redirect our energies and attention, our focus back in towards ourselves. So that will be our focus for this morning. I'm going to work through some poses that encourage that, mostly forward folds. You don't need any specific props, but if you do have a strap or a belt or a towel that you'd like to use instead of a strap, you can take a second to grab that. And then when you're ready, let's come down into a child's pose to start. So we'll take the knees wide, the arms forward, and let the head rest down. If your head doesn't quite touch the mat, you could pop a block underneath there or a pillow if you're substituting. Then let the hips get nice and heavy back onto the heels. Let the upper body soften. Take a big breath down all the way through the nose, into the chest, all the way down into the belly. And then open the mouth to breathe out. Okay, so let's take about 5 more breaths like that, filling all the way up. Sighing it out of the mouth to release. Each breath out, get a little bit softer and heavier. Close the eyes to turn your attention inwards. And last 2 breaths here, make them really deep and really big. Maybe taking the next moment here to set that intention for your class, to keep drawing that attention inwards. Focus within. Start to creep your fingertips forward, so lengthen your arms a little bit more. Maybe the elbows peel away from the mat. The sides of the waist and the arms get longer. As you do that, can you keep that same weight through the hips so the whole body lengthens out? Next, then creep your hands over towards the left corner of your mat, top corner. The right hand can stack on top if that feels okay. Otherwise, hands can be next to each other. Taking a breath into the right side of the ribs, filling all the way up. Staying for the breath out. When you're ready, hands come back through the middle, walk them across, and then all the way over towards the left, the right. Opposite hand can stack, pausing for 1 full round of breath here. Good, find your way back through the center now. And then when you're ready, come up into a tabletop shape. Just take a quick little wriggle out to find the center of your mat. Good, and then let's start to shift the weight forward. Squeeze your elbows in towards your ribs and then just gently take your chest and chin down towards the mat, keeping the hips lifted. Nice. When you're ready, slide your way through, so lay onto the belly. Let's find a cobra pose here. Lifting the chest, baby cobra, chest lifts, shoulder blades squeeze in. Exhale, fold forward, head towards the mat. Press down through the hands and the knees around the spine as you roll back to a child's pose. Nice, pause for a breath here. Just find our way back up into that tabletop shape and make that a little bit more fluid now. So on the next exhale, you'll bend the elbows, chest and chin to the floor. Slide through on your inhale, cobra pose, lift up. Exhale, head towards the floor. Press through the hands around the spine, roll back, child's pose. Breath in. One breath out. Take one last round like that on your own. When you're ready, sliding forward into a tabletop, making your way through those shapes. Feeling the spine start to wake up. Then eventually arriving back in that child's pose. So you can revisit this shape at any point during the class if you'd like. From here, start to press your fingers down into the mat. Start to tuck your toes underneath you and then lift the hips up and back. Let's meet into a down dog. Take a moment here to pedal out through the legs. Feel your hands connect firmly into the mat. Couple of breaths to feel this shape this morning. Good. When you're ready, find some stillness here. Let's inhale, lift your heels up. Exhale, drop them back towards the mat. Laying through the back of the legs. Again, like that, breathe in to lift. Breathe out to lower. One more time, inhale, heels high. Exhale, knees, heels drop. Sorry. When you're ready, you bend your knees and then take a little walk to the top of your mat. Let's come into a forward fold, feet are hips distance apart here. So you can have the fingertips on the mat, or you can hold onto your elbows in a ragdoll shape, letting the chest melt down towards the legs. You can take a little wriggle here. We'll stay for another breath or so. Good. Then release your hands. Take your left hand onto the mat. Bend your left knee and peel your right hand up. So straightening through the right leg, spinning the chest up. Let's swap sides. Right hand down, right knee bends as you straighten through the left leg and peel open. Take one last round to each side. Left hand down, right hand lifts. And the opposite way now. Come all the way back to the center. Straighten out both legs, but you can keep them as bent as you need here. So just easing into it. Let's take a halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale, wave the chest back down, fold forward. Ground through the feet, sweep the arms up overhead, draw the palms together. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, the hands plant, step your feet back to a high plank. You drop your knees to the mat, shift your weight forward. So modified chaturanga, elbows squeeze in. A baby cobra pose on the inhale, lift the chest. Press the hands, tuck the toes and roll back, down dog from here. Good, chest draws back towards the thighs. Inhale, heels will lift high. Bend your knees, breathe out. Step or walk your feet forward to the top of the mat. It's a halfway lift on the inhale. Breathe out, fold down. Press to stand, draw your arms overhead. Nice, to the mat, fold forward, a big exhale breath. Halfway, inhale and lift. Exhale to fold. Feet step back, high plank. Your choice this time, whether you drop the knees or keep them lifted. It's chaturanga. The cobra pose or an up dog, if you're ready, lifting through the chest. Down dogs, the breath out. Okay, so let's take one last round like that. Breathe in, heels lift. Exhale, knees bend. Step, walk or jump forward. It's a halfway lift in the inhale. Exhale to fold. Stand up, sweep up, breathe in. To the mat, a big breath out. Halfway, inhale to lengthen. Exhale to fold. Hands plant, feet press back. Your flow from here. Moving to breath. Nice, let's float the right heel up towards the sky. Draw your knee to your nose, round forward. Inhale, lift it up. One more like that, to the nose, pause there, around the shoulders. Then step your right foot between the palms, drop your left knee to the mat. Meet in a low lunge, take the arms overhead when you're ready. Back toes can untuck. These hips are squared forward and softness through that front knee. A little bit taller through the fingers, through the crown of the head. Take a big inhale. The exhale slides the hips back in space to a half monkey pose. So we'll flex the right toes towards the face. Nice. So you can do as Casey's doing here, reaching your fingertips back, finding a little bit of balance. Or if that feels a little bit unsteady, you're welcome to frame your hands around the foot. So find what works for you this morning. Nice. Let's start to link those two poses together with breath. So inhale, low lunge, arms lift up. Exhale, half monkey pose, slide back, flex the right toes. Just one more round like that. Breathe in to lift. Breathe out, fold. Pause at the bottom of this one. Drawing the right hip back. Nice. Then rebend your right knee, hands frame your right foot. Tuck your left knee, your left toes, and lift up into a runner's lunge. Drawing the chest forward, get nice and strong and straight through that left leg. Keep your left hand down, peel your right hand high, come into a little runner's twist. Nice, spinning the chest up towards the ceiling. So you can stay right here if you'd like. Otherwise, you could roll to the outside blades of both feet and step back into any variation of a side plank. So that might just be stepping the back foot down with the knee, or maybe you stay with both legs long. So up to you. Let's press that left hand down, take one more breath in. And then exhale both hands and feet to the mat, so come back to a high plank. So flow from here, high plank to low as you breathe out. And the back bend on the inhale. And down dog is the exhale breath. Pausing for 2 steady breaths here. Nice. Let's float the left heel on the next breath in. Knee to nose, round forward as you breathe out. Squeeze the knee in, send it high, inhale, lift. One more like that to the nose. Step it through into a low lunge. So back knee will drop, arms will float overhead. This little squeeze of the belly in as you lift up through the fingertips. So next time you breathe out, slide your hips back, find half Hanumanasana, half monkey pose, and left toes draw back. As you bring the chest forward and breathe into that space along the back of the left leg. The breath here, 2 rounds. Inhale, low lunge, lift up as you bend through the knee. Exhale to fold forward, half monkey pose. One more time, breathe in and lift, slide up. Exhale, slide back. Pause at the bottom of this one. Hands can reach behind you. Left heel hugs into the floor, last breath. So when you're ready, rebend your left knee, come into a runner's lunge. So the hands frame that foot, back knee lifts. Good, find a little bit more space through the chest, through the collarbones. And then keep your right hand down, peel your left hand up. It's really strong through that back leg. Stay here if you'd like, or find your way into a variation of side plank, rolling feet towards the side, maybe dropping that bottom knee, pressing through the right hand. Both hands will come back to the mat. Let's step it back to a plank. You can add a flow here, or you're always welcome to skip those out and find a down dog instead if that suits you better this morning. Nice, let's start to float your right heel now up towards the sky. Good, step it forward straight into a warrior 2 this time. So we'll pivot the back foot down, peel open, roll open. Nice deep bend into that right knee as you press evenly into both feet. Taking the gaze forward. Let's flip the front palm from here, lift up and back to reverse. And then straighten through your right leg. So reverse Trikonasana. Take a little look towards your back toes. We'll bend into the back knee and come into a high Skandasana. So bending through the left leg. Squeezing the heels towards each other. From here, we're going to sweep forward into a crescent lunge. So we'll pivot onto the toes, sweep the arms up. The hips are facing forward now. Right hip back, left hip forward. Again, finding that length and space up through the side bodies with the fingertips. And the next exhale, we'll twist over towards the right. So the left arm is forward and the right arm is back. Next, again, reaching out through all 10 fingertips. Bring that twist through the middle part of the spine. Come back through the center, breathe in, arms up, crescent lunge. Exhale is an arrowhead pose. So the arms go back, the chest goes forward. Reaching the heart towards the front of the room. Good, then take your hands down onto the mat. You might need to step your back foot in a little bit as you slide your hips back, straightening through the front leg. We're going to come into a pyramid pose. Nice. It doesn't matter if that back heel isn't on the ground. Find a position for your feet that feels best. You might like to step your left foot further to the left if that helps. Good, and then obviously as much of a bend in your knees as you need here. Let's take a halfway lift. Breathe in, wave the spine up, fingertips to the mat. Exhale, folding down. Good. Let's bend into the back knees. So you might peel that heel off the mat and then spring forward so we're standing at the top of the mat. Nice. Press to stand, draw the arms up overhead, breathe in. Exhale all the way to the mat, fold back down. It's halfway, inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold down. Hands plant, feet step back, you'll flow from here, lots of breath, whatever way you are moving. Start to float then your left heel towards the sky. Breath out steps you forward into a warrior two. Pivot your right foot down, plant it so you open and lift. Good. Nice deep bend through that left knee and keep drawing your left knee towards the left. Flip the front palm, lift up and back, find a reverse. Once you're there, start to straighten through that left leg, so your front leg is nice and straight as well. Reverse Trikonasana. Yeah. Good. We're taking that gaze towards the back toes now as we bend into the right knee. It's High Skandasana. Chest can come forward. Squeeze the legs together, slide your way into a crescent lunge back towards the top of the mat. So we're bending into the left knee now. Find a little pivot onto the ball of the feet. Good. Find that stability, that grounding through the feet. And then let's twist towards the left. So right arm forward, left arm back. Keeping that same lift and length through the spine. Through the center, come back, high crescent lunge, breathing in. Arrowhead is the breath out. Chest is forward, back leg is really long. Let's release the hands to frame the left foot now, and we'll slide our way back into a pyramid pose. So step the back foot in where you need. Nice. Thinking again about drawing the left hip back and the right hip forward. Take a halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold down. One more, breathe in and lift. Breathe out to fold. Bend your right knee. Take a little spring forward to the top of the mat. Good. Press to stand, take the arms overhead, lift all the way up. To the mat, fold forward, breathe out. Halfway, inhale. Exhale to fold, hands plant to your flows. You step your feet back, lowering down, chaturanga. To back bend, breathe in. Down dog, exhale. As from here, bend your knees and walk your hands back towards your feet. Good, feet are hips distance apart. Then I want you to peace grip your big toes. And then let the elbows fall out towards the side, let the chest melt down towards the thighs. Bending your knees as much as you need here, but still finding length through the back of the legs. Good. Half wave, lift up, wave the spine up, lengthen through the arms. Exhale, fold. Release the fingertips, bend the knees, sweep the arms up, come into a chair pose, sitting the hips down and back. Really squeezing in. And a little bit more depth for one last breath here. We then lift the heels up, roll onto the balls of the feet. And we'll slowly lower down towards the mat for 3, 2, 1. Take your hands down. You can step the feet wide into Malasana or add in a crow pose here if you would like. So if you're coming into crow, we're bending the elbows deeply, maybe floating one or both heels off the mat. So think chaturanga arms. Amazing. When you're ready, step the feet back onto the mat. Let's all come into Malasana. Feet wide, knees wide, hands can come to the chest. Let's press down through the feet and find a little bit more lift, so it's a little bit more active here. Last breath in. Stay for the breath out. Release the hands, walk them forward, come back into a down dog. Straight away, let's lift the right leg up towards the sky. Draw the knee to the nose as you come forward, and then step into a warrior 2. The front palm lift up and back to reverse, and straighten through your right leg. It's either high Skandasana or a full Skandasana this time as you bend into the left knee. You can come all the way down if that feels good. Maybe flexing the right toes towards the face. And a little hug of the right heel into the mat, and we'll use that. You might use your hands as well if you'd like, to then pivot the feet back towards the top of the mat and come into a crescent lunge. Find your way there, nice. Arms overhead. Breath in together. Breath out, twist towards the right. Good, through the center. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, arrowhead, chest forward, length through that back leg. Just release your hands to the mat. We're going to come into a pyramid pose. So again, adjust your feet where you need to here. Slide the chest back. A halfway lift, breathe in. Fold forward, exhale. We're going to bend into that back knee this time and spring forward into a standing splits. So we'll keep that left leg lifted. Thinking about drawing the chest down towards the right thigh. Nice. From here, let's slowly stand up into a stalk pose. So draw your left knee up into your chest. Good. Once you arrive, let's take the left hand around the left knee. And then lift up through the right hand, maybe taking a little lean back or a look up and back. Good. Find your balance here. Let's slide all the way back into a warrior 3. So left leg will stay lifted, slide back. Hands can go long forward or they can come to your heart. Good one. Nice. From here, it's a curtsy lunge. So we're going to take that left knee behind the right and step the left foot behind the right. Yep. Let's take the arms out long, bending deeply into both knees. Good. Take the hands down, step the left foot back, step the right foot back, high plank. Flowing here to breath, let's meet down dog. Float your left leg up towards the sky. Knee to nose, exhale. Warrior 2, step it through. These front palm flips, lift up and back. Then straighten through your left leg. Skandasana or high Skandasana, bending into the right knee, squeezing the legs towards each other. Use the next breath out to slide your way forward, high crescent lunge, bending into your left knee, pivoting on the toes. As we inhale together. We twist as we breathe out. Through the center. Arrowhead, exhale. Reaching the fingertips towards the back of the room as the heart goes forward. Nice. Hands to the mat, pyramid pose is the next shape we'll come into. So adjust the feet where you need. Good, it's halfway up. Inhale, lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Bend the back knee, spring forward into a standing splits. He's drawing that chest down, doesn't matter how high that back leg gets. When you're ready, start to stand, draw right knee into the chest, finding your balance here. And let's take the right hand around the right knee and then find a little lift, maybe a lean back. Nice. Warrior 3, sliding back when you're ready. Good, hips are square, both legs are really strong and engaged. Nice. When you're ready, we'll take that right knee to the back of the left and come into that little curtsy lunge, so bending both knees, take the arms long. It's from here, hands to the mat, right leg to the back, left leg to the back. Add a flow, down dog. Once you get back to your down dog, let's pause for about 5 breaths here. If there's another shape you'd prefer, welcome to go there instead. Always a few moments just to reconnect back to that breath. If your mind has wandered off, can you bring it back? Refocusing on drawing your attention inwards. This last breath here together. Let's inhale through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth. Float your right heel up towards the sky. Let's add in for one last time here. The exhale takes you forward, knee to nose, warrior 2. Flip the front palm, lift up, lift back, straighten your right leg. Skandasana, slide back. Takes one breath in. Exhale is crescent lunge, lift up. Lifting through the fingertips, through the waist, breathe out to twist towards the right. Through the center, inhale. Arrowhead, breathe out. Hands to the mat, pyramid pose, step forward, fold forward. It's halfway lift, inhale. Exhale to fold. Bend the back knee, standing splits to spring forward. Use chest towards the thigh. Good, let's draw the left knee up into the chest. Take a hold of the knee when you're ready and balanced. And take that little lean back here if you'd like. And then warrior 3 to slide back. Yeah, any variation you'd like with your arms here, perfect. Let's step that into that curtsy lunge. Let's try and take the foot a little bit wider this time so the back leg can go longer. Reach the arms out. Good, so then listen, this part is a little bit different. So take your left hand onto the mat. Press down through the knife edge of your left foot. You step your right foot over the left and come into a full one triangle. Nice, lift the hips high. Then take that right hand back down onto the mat, come back. Step the feet back into a high plank. Yeah. Unravel. When you're ready, take a flow. Let's meet in down dog. Big breath in. Say, breathe out. Left leg floats up. Knee to nose, slide it forward, come into a warrior 2. Inhale to lift and flip. Straighten through the left leg. Slide back, Skandasana pose. Breath in at the bottom, breath out. When you're ready, crescent lunge, slide it forward. Good. Breathe in together. Twist left as you exhale. Through the center, lift up. Arrowhead, come forward. Hands down, back foot might step in, pyramid pose. Wave the spine up halfway to lift. Exhale to fold. Back knee bends, you spring forward. Standing splits, chest and head release down. This right knee will draw up into the chest. Let's meet in a stork pose. Flex the toes, squeeze the knee into the belly. Good. Right hand to right knee. Left arm stays lifted. Take that little lean back if you like. So warrior three. Kick that right heel back behind you. Really long from the heel to the crown of the head. His right foot will step behind the left now, a little bit wider than before. Curtsy lunge, arms can go long. Then take your right hand onto the mat. Press down through the knife edge of your right foot as you step your left leg back behind you into a fallen triangle. Nice. Hips stay lifted up. Left hand comes to the mat. Adjust your feet to step back into a high plank. Yes, nice. Let's take a flow from here. Down dog is our meeting place. Good. One breath in. Exhale out of the mouth. When you're ready, drop your forearms down onto the mat. Let's find a dolphin pose here. Just a couple of breaths. Forearms press into the floor, belly squeezes in. Keep that breath flowing. Last two here. Next, when you're ready, come back to a down dog. And then bend your knees a lot. Walk your feet to the top of the mat. So again, find that forward fold. So peace, grip your big toes, feet hips distance apart. With the chest fold forward, let the elbows bend and come out. If there's any other variation of a forward fold that you'd prefer to take, really welcome to do that. Otherwise, head and chest are soft towards the thighs. Take a couple of breaths here to recenter, to redraw that focus back inwards. Nice. Let's release the grip of the hands and then really slowly roll the spine up. When you get to the top, let's take the arms up overhead and draw your left knee into your chest. Okay, so there's a couple of options from here. You can take a hold of your knee with both hands here, and maybe you stay here working with this balance. If you like, you could take either your hands or a strap around the base of your left foot. Again, you might stay with the knee bent, just focusing on that balance, or you could straighten the leg forward. So find what works for you. Once you have that, maybe the chest slides forward as well. Good, really focusing all of your attention to balance here, to breathe one last breath in. Breathe out. When you're ready, gently release that left foot to the mat. Turn the palms forward. Let's meet in Tadasana, mountain pose. If you need to take a little shake out through the legs, do that. We'll close the eyes down again, refocusing all of our attention inwards. Nice. Let's float the arms back overhead. Ground through the left foot. Draw your right knee into your chest this time. So same options again here. Hands might bind around the knee, or the hands or a strap could come around the base of that right foot. Stay with the knee bent or start to straighten it forward once you feel steady. If you fall out, doesn't matter at all, come back and give it another try. It's a really tricky one for the balance. Finding that same forward fold shape, the last breath here. Yes, gently release, feet to the mat, palms towards the front of the room, roll the shoulders down and back, close the eyes. And breathe in and float the arms back up overhead, lift tall. Fold forward all the way to the mat, breathe out completely. Take a halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Option here for one final flow. If you'd prefer, just step back to down dog. Good, then from down dog, roll your spine forward into a high plank. And when you're ready, just lower down onto your belly. Take as long or as little time as you'd like. Just bring your hands beside your hips with the palms facing down. We'll come through a couple of rounds of locust pose. So firstly, let's press the feet down into the mat. Let's lift the chest, lift the fingertips, and then if you'd like here, you can lift the feet up as well. As you're thinking about lifting up, can you also get really long from the toes through the crown of the head, create a little bit more space and length. When you're ready, you can fold back towards the mat, rest the head down, or it can turn to one side, whatever feels comfortable. You can give the hips a little wiggle out here. Let's just find one last round of that same shape. So feet press down. When you're ready, head and shoulders will lift, squeeze the shoulder blades together. With the fingertips, float your feet all the way up into a full locust pose, Shavasana. Can you lift just the tiniest bit higher for the last 3 breaths here? Last one in. Gently release, breathe out. Again, head can turn, hips might wiggle, legs might sway to release that lower back. Good, and then let's bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Let's come back into a child's pose. So knees can be wide here. If you'd prefer to have them together, do that instead. The head rest down towards the mat again if you'd like to find a little bit more. Bring the floor a little bit closer to your head. You can use a pillow or a block. Just let the body soften here for the next few moments. Notice any shifts or changes in the body and breath in this shape compared to how it felt at the start of class. Nothing to do but breathe here for the next 5 breaths. So reach your fingertips long and forward. And when you're ready, come into a down dog. Good, let's float the right leg up towards the sky. Coming to a half pigeon pose from here, so slide your right knee forward, and then you can square the shin across the mat as much as feels comfortable for you. If you're at home and you want to use props, really welcome to pop something underneath that right hip. Let's find an active variation of this shape first. So let's squeeze the inner thighs towards each other, find a lift with the hips. Maybe you peel the hands back and lift the chest up for a moment first. Squeezing through that outer hip. And then if you'd like, you can start to soften and maybe walk the hands forward, folding forward as much as feels good. You can come into the forearms or bring the head all the way down. Again, a block or a pillow or anything underneath the head for more support here might feel nice. We're going to stay for quite a few breaths. A really good time to focus that attention, energy back inwards. Notice what's happening internally. Letting the body soften forward. And 5 big breaths here. And when you're ready, let's start to lift the chest up. If you have anything underneath that right hip, let's pop it out. I'm going to try and come into this transition without using our hands. So you can lift them up from wherever you want. Let's sit onto the right side. Swing the left leg around. And then lift the arms up. Keep the left leg lifted. You can flex or point the toes. Keep the chest up. 1 breath here. And then bend your left leg. Slide your right leg behind you, coming into a half pigeon pose from here. Nice. Squeeze the legs towards each other. We'll find that active variation again. You can take the hands behind you if you'd like. And again, welcome to use your hands here to readjust your position if you need to. Setting it up for a moment. When you're ready, slowly soften and fold forward over the mat. Using any props you need here. As you settle into this shape on the left side, and you notice any extra holding, any extra tension, maybe through the shoulders, the jaw, and you really consciously soften those spaces a little bit more. Last 5 smooth, steady breaths. Okay, so let's slowly walk the hands back up towards that left shin, and we'll do that same transition. So if you have anything underneath the left hip, pop it out. Sit towards the left, swing your right leg around, nice, and then keep it lifted. Yeah, chest lifts, leg lifts. 1 breath here. Good. Then you can release that leg to the mat. We're going to meet with both legs extended straight, so just lengthen them out. Nice. Again, you might like to sit onto a block or something for a little bit more height here. Otherwise, lift the fingers up. And then exhale, fold forward, Paschimottanasana. If you had a strap or a towel or anything you were using over the base of the feet in that standing posture, you could use it again here for a little bit more length and space if you'd like. Otherwise, hands can hold the feet or rest beside the legs. And then feel free to make this as active or as passive as you want. So you could keep that length through the spine and reach the chest forward. If you need something a little bit softer, bend the knees, let the spine round. Allowing the chest to melt forward. Just another moment or so here. Let's start to lift the chest up and then bring the hands together overhead. From here, let's take the hands onto the outside of the right leg. So the left outer palm will press into the right leg. Palms are together. Yep, cool. And then peel your right hand back. Spin your chest open, pressing the left hand into the right leg. So reach the right arm forward and over, and then bring the hands back together. Inhale, lift up through the center. Exhale, hands come towards the outside of the left leg. Nice. Right hand presses into the left leg, left hand peels back and open. Good. Sweep the left arm up, palms draw back together. Inhale, lift up through the middle. One more round to each side. So hands draw together towards the outside of the right leg, right hand peels back. Sweep it up and over, round forward to close. Inhale, lift through the middle. Exhale, hands towards the left. Opening on the inhale. Sweeping closed as you breathe out. All the way back through the center, reach the arms up overhead. Sit really tall, squeeze the belly in. And then reach your hands forward now. Let's slowly roll down onto our backs for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's come all the way down. When you get down, give your knees a squeeze up into your chest. So draw them in, maybe take a little rock from one side to the other. Massage out the lower back. Then bring your heels onto the floor, or feet onto the floor. Just a gentle rolling bridge here, just to open a little bit through the chest after a lot of forward folding. So feet press down, tailbone tucks under. So inhale, let's lift the hips, spine up the mat. Let's also float the arms up overhead if that feels good. And then exhale the reverse. Everything slowly peels and lowers back down towards the mat. Let's just come through a few rounds like that. Lifting up, heels squeeze towards the body. Exhaling to lower. Feel free to close the eyes down and really tune into that movement. That connection of the movement to the breath. These last 2 rounds here. After your last round, the hips settle back onto the mat. The hands rest beside you. Pause for a moment. Good, then take your feet as wide as your mat and let both of your knees fall over towards the right. You can take your arms out to a T. If you'd like a little bit more through that left leg and a bit more of a twist, you could stack your right ankle on top of your left knee. Keeping both shoulders nice and heavy towards the mat. Softening the hips, softening the belly. Allowing everything to slow and settle here for the next moment. If you've got that top ankle stacked, just lift it off and then draw both legs back through the center. Give it a little windscreen wiper out. When you're ready, both knees will fall towards the left. Side might feel different, so if you like, you can stack that ankle, see how it feels. Notice where you feel this the most. Is it more through that front hip, through the spine? Four more big breaths. Unstack that top leg, bring the knees back through the middle. Again, take any movements you need here. And then let's draw the knees up into the chest. We'll come into a happy baby pose. So you can hold the outside blades of the feet, with the knees down towards the underarms. Might feel nice to stay still, or you can straighten one leg and then the other, or find any movement that suits you this morning. And gently release your legs. Send them along on the mat. We'll take a few rounds of breath together before we come into our final shape. So you can have your hands beside you, or if you prefer, you can place them somewhere on the body. It'll be a 3-part breath on the inhale, and then just big exhale out of the mouth to really slow everything down. So let's inhale in through the nose, just 1 round of breath to prepare. And then out. Just breathe into the belly first, into the ribs, and then all the way up into the chest. Open your mouth to exhale completely. So again, like that, breathe in belly, ribs, chest, exhale out. Last round, make it the biggest breath yet. From the belly, from the ribs, all the way up. Breathe in as much air as you can. Exhale, side out. Yourself, find that natural rhythm of breath. If there's anything else you need, another movement or any other shape, you take the time to find that now. If you are ready to come into our last shape, Shavasana, stay just as you are. If you'd like a blanket or anything else, get comfortable. And then let yourself take up as much space as you'd like. Each exhale breath allows your body to get even softer and heavier into the mat. right here for the next few moments. If you'd like to stay here a little bit longer this morning, please feel free to pop the video off and rest for as long as you'd like. If you're ready to start to come back into the body, give the fingers and toes a bit of a wiggle. We give the head and neck a bit of a roll, or take the arms overhead and find a big stretch. And then eventually rolling over onto whichever side you prefer this morning. So from there, keep the eyes closed and slowly make your way up to a seated position. Bring the hands together at the chest. Thank you for showing up this morning to practice together. Namaste.